Good as Cam here with What's Out Sports. I got my boy X and I got my boy KJ. Yo, what's good, y'all?
What's going on, Cam?
What's good? How
What's
you
good,
feeling?
man?
How y'all feeling, man?
Hey, just living life. It's 2022, new year, new everything.
Super
Okay,
blessed
okay.
for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we just gonna get into it, man. Super Bowl, Rams, Cincinnati. Wow, who would have ever thought Cincinnati would have been in the Super Bowl, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah, I
Never.
know it should have been the Browns. Let me tell you.
Not with Baker Mayfield, boy. Definitely not with that man. You can't rely on that man to do nothing. The only thing you can rely on him for nowadays is to clear out his calendar to do a commercial. That's it.
Dang, hey KJ, he was injured this year. You got to give him a little
Yeah.
slack.
But
Injury
before
something.
that though, he was mainly known for being in just progressive commercials and any other commercial that would give that boy just a little bit of money compared to the money that he's supposed to be earning on the field when he's not throwing interceptions.
Dang, KJ.
Listen, I have nothing bad against the Cleveland Browns, but when it comes to Baker Mayfield, anybody that tries to talk to me about him, I'm just completely ending the conversation at that point. Like, you can't talk to me about him. He's the worst of the worst. Shoot, Blake Bortles might have been a better quarterback than him.
Bortles. Oh,
Whoa, that is reckless. That's beyond reckless. Oh, I feel personally offended there, KJ.
Bro, I just told you that I don't have no hate towards the organization. It's just that, man. You got to take your feelings out of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cam, what you got to say about this?
I mean, everybody got their opinions, man. I would say the injuries, man. That's really the only thing. But he has no other excuse after that, though, to be honest. So that's the only thing I'm really gonna say.
Respectable.
So back
Definitely.
to the Bengals and the Rams, man. The Rams are like, I felt like last year Tampa Bay was like a super team. I called them the Southern super team because they just pulled talent from different, areas, and then and obviously they had Brady, come on down. And they just, they kicked that. On the West side, like LA, the Rams this year, I've got the same feeling. They just got a lot of talent on hand, bro. And they just unused talent from different teams all around the country type deal, bringing them on in, and hey, they're in the shot again, bro. They're ready for Super Bowl again. So, shout out to the Rams, bro. Twice in 3 years, right?
I want to say
Let's
maybe
say,
four.
Twice in 4 years.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Cam got
think
the right idea on that. It's been about 4 or 5 years since the Rams been there, but
Rams
no
Patriots.
one's really.
That was 4 years ago.
I want to
That
say
was around
2017,
53.
2016.
Heck
It was
no.
it was Super Bowl 53 against the Pats. That was around like 18 to
2017.
19.
Yeah, somewhere
Right.
around there.
So if it's 2019, that's 3 years.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
different.
most likely.
Yep, Super Bowl 19. Yeah. It was 13-3. It was that boring ass game.
That's what I'm saying. You see how hard it was to remember it because of how bad of a game it was. Everybody in the whole world knew that if Bill Vinovich fat ass threw that flag, the Saints would have got there and it wouldn't have been the Rams. The Saints could have easily put up more than 3 points in a 60-minute period. I would put my whole savings account on the line for something like that.
Whoa, KJ, you got a family now. Hey, don't we putting all our back out of there now.
Listen, the only reason why I'm even talking like that, bro, is because you got to remember how cold the Saints offense was during that time. I mean, they had a healthy Drew Brees. They had Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, who was a top 5 running back duo in the league. They had Michael Thomas, who was very healthy at that moment and was killing everybody, even though he was just running like 1 or 2 routes, he was still killing people. And the Saints defense was top 5 in the league on top of that too. Like those boys was wreaking havoc the entire season. If anybody remembers the regular season game that they had against the Eagles that season in the Dome, that's all you need for proof, because the way they massacred them was Honestly, I don't even think anybody should be subjected to that. Like it was that bad. 40-7 with 14 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, Jesus.
It's pretty nuts. Cam, what you
Man,
gotta say about the Rams?
the Rams are a hell of a team, bro. No doubt. Stafford is playing some of the best football of his career right now. Odell's came out of his shell. We seen, and Cup just can't be stopped. Their defense is a little bit suspect, but they get the job done. But I mean, don't sleep on Cincinnati, man. They got a lot of momentum, bro. They have a powerful offense. They can come back, and they could definitely hit you with the home run ball. So no doubt.
Hey, look, I know we're not going back to that, but I'm just saying I'm gonna say this just cause, okay? The Browns, if the Browns play, Las Vegas first and the wild card, then they play the Steelers again, or who do they play after that?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay, Tennessee. All they really got is Derrick Henry. Anyways,
Yeah.
after that, I feel like the Browns could have done something if we still had Odell at least. But we're not even talking about them anymore. The Bengals, they're my team, bro. I want them to, not my team like reputable, but they're my team for the Super Bowl. I think that they'll beat the Rams.
Honestly, when I think about the game, because right after the Rams won, I was already thinking about, different matchups, how it could really go coach to coach, really. And honestly, I think it's going to be even on the coaching level because Sean McVay, this is going to be his second Super Bowl that he's been in. He's been on record saying that he got completely out coached the first Super Bowl he was in, and that was clearly painfully obvious. We know that.
It's also Belichick, Belichick ain't going.
I mean, you rarely see anybody out coach Bill, bro. Like Bill is up there on Mount Rushmore of coaches in NFL history. That you can't say anything different. You cannot have a Mount Rushmore of coaches without Bill Belichick being up there. Point of the matter is Zach Taylor, he's coming to his own as well too, because he's been coach of the Bengals for the last 3 years, and it's only taken him 3 years to get them to a Super Bowl. Like, that's incredible. That's a major accomplishment for him. It'll be even more of a bigger accomplishment if they win. The problem is the Bengals got a hell of a mountain to climb because you're going against one of the best pass rushers in the league right now. Like, we're not even gonna focus on Aaron Donald because we already know what he can do. Like, his name in itself commands respect. It's the other people on the defensive side that you got to worry about. Like, you're already gonna have 2 to 3 people having to stop Aaron Donald. He demands a double team, maybe even a third offensive lineman coming at him. That leaves a lot more room for people like Leonard Floyd coming off the edge, Von Miller, even Ashawn Robinson, who's in the middle. That gives them way more opportunities to get at Joe Burrow. And this is the same guy that got sacked 9 times in a playoff game, but still managed to win against the Titans. But that's because the Titans, they got mediocre quarterback play. So a lot of people were betting on that. But with the Bengals and Joe Burrow's way different. He is way different than Ryan Tannehill. He's willing to take more chances, more risk, doing whatever he has to do to get the win, all that. So the Rams, if they really want to win this game, it's going to be won on defense. I'm not worried about their offense, but it's going to be won based on their defense and how much they're willing to give up and how much they're willing to allow during the game.
All right, definitely. I totally agree with you, KJ. Cincinnati's offensive line has been suspect the whole season, but yeah, I think really that's their biggest question mark for this game. How can they keep Joe Burrow protected? And simply the fact. X, what you think, bro?
Honestly, like I'm already thinking about scores. I think it'll be hopefully I want both the offenses to be, high firing, and I'm looking at more like a 30-27, 31-27, that type deal.
So shootout type of game.
I would love to see a shootout. I'd love to just see and do. I gotta say shout out to Matthew Stafford, man. He was with the the Lions for the longest. The Lions were going through. They also go through a rough patch. They also from the Midwest. Shout out to them. And for him to go on and accomplish what he's doing, right now in LA is a pretty big deal. So yeah, the Bengals, their line isn't all that. So that's definitely gonna be the question mark. But I think, you know what, why I think Joe Burrow is gonna do well, why I think he's gonna win it out is just he just has just so much composure and he's been in big moments already and proven himself pretty well. So that's what I think.
The matchups in the game are gonna go crazy too because I've been thinking about that since I believe Tuesday, and so far, like my mind hasn't really completely it hasn't really hit me yet because matchup wise, things could go either way. I mean, when you look at the Bengals offense, they got a capable running back in Joe Mixon, but the main thing that keeps them going is the three-headed monster they got at receiver. I mean, we already know how special Jamar Chase is. Then you got T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd who contribute just as much as he does, but he's the main engine that gets that receiving core and their offense going. But the Rams, they're going to put Jalen Ramsey on him, and that's going to be a hell of a matchup because Jalen, he's got the size, the length, and the speed to match up with him. So that's going to leave more opportunities for people like Higgins and Boyd to get involved. But at the end of the day, it could go either way because a couple weeks ago, we saw Jalen Ramsey get burned in the fourth quarter by Mike Evans when Brady launched that 40, 50-yard bomb over his head.
His last touchdown.
That's what I'm saying. If you consider yourself to be one of the best DBs in the game, you can't allow something like that to happen, especially in the fourth quarter. So Jalen, he gonna have to come prepared, man, because Jamar Chase is him. And I'm not even, an LSU Tiger fan or a Bengals fan for that matter. But I like to give credit where credit is due to anybody in the league that's earned.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I definitely agree with you, KJ. Shout out to Jamar Chase, bro. What an unbelievable rookie year, man. I never seen it before. But switching over to Brady, bro. The GOAT retiring X. How about you take the lead on this one?
Yo, man, shout out to Brady. I mean, he had some great years. It's kind of bizarre, actually. He had a whole documentary that came out with ESPN this whole year. I took a look at it over winter break, and it kind of felt like he was going to retire because he was just talking about his career throughout, and he was also like, hinting to what he was going to be doing in the future. Amazing years and with the Patriots organization. Really proved himself in college and for the University of Michigan. I know you hate him, Cameron, but really, really had to battle, for that starting spot, even when he was a senior, and all that momentum. And after, Bledsoe going down, this happened right after 9/11 too. Bledsoe going down, Brady stepping up, and then Brady just proving himself. I mean, this guy is just like, can't stop, won't stop. And I respect the reason why he decided that he wasn't going to play anymore is because he couldn't go all in anymore. He wanted to put his time to something else. But hey, from all accords, from his teammates, from the coaches, from the owners, they love Brady's work ethic. They understand who he is, and it was an amazing career, to be quite honest. That's all I can really say personally.
All right, KJ, you can go.
Well, first of all, I gotta give a lot of respect to Tom Brady. I mean, this man played for over 20 years in the NFL. That's a great accomplishment on him. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. Everybody knows how hard it is to win a championship every year in the league, but because we've gotten so used to seeing Brady either be in the bowl every year or win it every year, it's become one of those expectations, and every team honestly should have that expectation: Super Bowl or bust, because that's what everyone's trying to do. They're trying to win that championship, whether it's their second, their third, or maybe even their first in a long, long time. Point of the matter is, Brady, he started something when he went on that little run he did when he became the starter for the Patriots. I mean, look at the teams he had to face early on when he almost. I mean, I'm not sure if he did get a three-peat or not early on in his career, but I mean, when I look at the teams, he had to play the Rams to get that first one. Then he played against the Carolina Panthers in Houston. They won it on a late second field goal in the fourth quarter. Then playing against the Philadelphia Eagles in Jacksonville, Florida, by the way, like that was a good Super Bowl as well too. Like Brady, he's one of those guys that he's seen it all, and you can't really slander him, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people that joke and troll about him on Twitter and Instagram, but at the end of the day, that man's name, you got to put respect on that man's name. And the moment that made me even, I already had respect for him, but I mean, when you come back down 25 in the Super Bowl, down 28-3, and you win in overtime. I mean, what else is there left to say at that point? After that game, I told people and anyone else that would listen, I told everybody, I said, look, man, we can argue as much who we think is the greatest player of all time in football history, but when it comes to that man right there, he has to be number one every single time because I have not seen anyone else do anything like that. I mean, he broke one entire organization down in one game. Ever since then, the Atlanta Falcons have never been the same. Never. And they may never really be the same. Like them boys may never touch another championship, like a conference championship at that. As far as a Super Bowl, no. No, I can honestly say that emphatically. But at the end of the day, Brady, Brady left his career the way he should. He got everything that he wanted out of it. He has nothing to prove to anybody. And I'm just glad that he left on his own terms and he didn't leave like, hurt. Like he had to take a horrific injury for him to walk away.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
totally
no
agree.
doubt.
I totally agree. Cameron, what are your thoughts on
Um,
the GOAT?
well, first off, shout out to TB12, bro. What an amazing career. Um, I'm kind of saddened, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I like watching Brady a lot, but what an amazing career. For real, bro. Like what KJ was saying, bro. I'm glad he knew when to hang it up and not have to leave under unfortunate circumstances. But shout out to the GOAT, bro. Happy retirement.
Feel that. I feel that, man. So what would you say? What would you guys say? KJ brought up one of my favorite moments of all time with Tom Brady because by that moment I wasn't a I respect Tom Brady for how good of a quarterback he was at that time, but I was still kind of a hater. I ain't gonna cap to you. After that game, bro, I dropped everything. I was like, yo, respect is without a doubt earned. Uh, the freaking Hawks game, the Super Bowl. That was 2017. That Super Bowl was crazy because I just remember like Atlanta was just lit, bro. They had their defense was lit. Their offense had been lit the whole year, and they was
The
just
Atlanta
torching
was
teams. They were raw. They were raw. Was Ryan their quarterback?
Yeah, he
Uh,
yeah.
was.
Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. Yep.
they was getting to it, man, and they just had that like energy where I was like, bro, they are destroying the Patriots right now. Ain't no way they coming back. And that's up until the third quarter. Like, and I believe everybody believed that like there was no way. And then when I actually was at a teammate's house when we were watching it, and I had to go back to campus. So KJ, you'll know this on Merrill. My teammate,
Yeah.
one of my teammates lived on Merrill, and we were just driving back to campus. So we get back to campus to finish the game uh, on campus, and they go, "Yeah, they going in the OT. They going in the OT." We like OT. Like, what do you mean? Man, Brady did it. So now I'm watching all the overtime on campus, and I'm like, without a doubt, when it was already there, I was like, yo, it's game over, bro. He got it won. He got it won and won that thing, man. Almost uh the play before the touchdown would have been even crazier, if that was the score to win the game. But even still, they took home the dub, bro. And you could just tell, bro. And after that, he went on even more runs. Like his career wasn't over after that.
Man, I'm trying to tell you that might have been the most craziest game I've ever seen Tom Brady play in. I mean, still, I still got a little bit of a grudge against him for what he did to my Jaguars a couple of years ago. But other than that, like I've seen a lot of Brady comebacks, but that has to be number one on the list. He did it when it mattered the most. But on top of that, the thing that people look over the most in it is Kyle Shanahan. I mean, as an offensive coordinator, how do you go away from what's working for your team in the game and you just go to something different? That means you were cocky and you were arrogant. You can't be doing shit like that in one of the biggest games in sports history. Like Kyle Shanahan has had two different opportunities to be a world champion with two different teams, and he choked in both chances. You know how bad that is for somebody in the league, whether you're a coordinator or a coach or a player for that matter. That's something that you got to live with that may potentially stain legacies at some point when it comes to the Hall of Fame. And it's definitely going to be brought up on Kyle Shanahan's part whenever he does decide to leave the NFL and retire as a coordinator or a coach for that matter. Like, it's inexcusable and it's just choke artist behavior.
For real, man. For real. And you could tell, I think just overall with the teams, bro, Atlanta was just so lit, bro. They had Migos in the sideline. You could tell once they got a certain lead that they was like, oh, they already started the party. And you should never already start the party. We saw it in basketball, for example, with the Spurs when they brought everybody remember when they brought out the oh my gosh, bro. When they brought out the freaking you know what I'm talking about, the red tape, whatever the fuck.
Bro. And like with the Indians, bro, back in '99 when they started putting the champagne in the locker room for the World Series, they brought the trophy. They brought the trophy in the locker room and all that, and then we lost in the ninth inning, and they had to take all that stuff down and put it in the other locker room.
Also, you can't forget this past year. It was the national championship game last year for college basketball. Baylor, Gonzaga. The Baylor assistant coach, he went to the team right before the game and he told them Gonzaga, they already had the champagne in their locker room. Everything was on ice and stuff. Then next thing you know, Baylor came out there and they was just dragging those boys all over the court. Like that first half, their point guard, Davion Mitchell, Mark Vital, and that other guy, man, they made Gonzaga look like they were completely outclassed out there. And they had like an All-American and Drew Timme, Kisser, and other people out there that had been balling all season, but they just looked like some little boys out there. It was wild.
That was Gonzaga's years, bro. They
supposed to be.
Yeah, they bit the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Never celebrate too early. And I think that also brings me to another moment. You mentioned it, KJ. I was in Jacksonville at the time. And,
oh yeah,
bro, the Jags were going to the Super Bowl, bro. And they were actually going to go to this
in the fourth quarter, man.
And then I just saw, like, you could just see, like, I already knew that it wasn't going. I was like, it's not secure. Oh, Brady got the ball with some time, it's game over. And it was like, that's all that happened. It was game over. And, shout out to my people who love the Eagles because the next game, the Eagles got their payback. They got their payback. So, another thing during that break, if any of you guys watch the Brady documentary, it's on ESPN Plus. It's really good. Just get a 1 month subscription to watch it. It's like it's kind of commercialish, but it's also really good to hear like stories from different aspects. Man, dude, I feel bad for Drew Bledsoe, and I'll tell you why. So Drew Bledsoe gets injured, and then Brady comes up, and then Brady takes over essentially. Bledsoe gets back, and then they trade him, or he ends up going over to Buffalo, and then he just for the next 5 years just gets destroyed by Brady nonstop during matchups. And it's like, dude, you're losing to your backup. But he also did teach Brady a lot of things too. So shout out to Bledsoe. I feel like Bledsoe, a lot of people who will be in a position like Bledsoe where, you know, you get injured or you have something that's like life risking and someone else comes up and then they're just like surging a team to victory and stuff. A lot of people will be salty. And I kind of feel like he has some of that in him because, I mean, everybody would. But the way that he helped Brady develop as as a starting QB was amazing, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with that.
My probably top Barry Norman is the Seahawks Super Bowl, bro, leading the team all the way back. And I mean, yo, that Seahawks team was probably, I thought that was the best team ever, bro. That
Bro, I
team
did
was
too.
stacked.
That
team was
dude.
stacked on offense and defense, bro.
Bro, those were I can't lie, that was like one of my favorite teams like ever type deal. Because the year before when they played the Broncos, they just sucker punched the Broncos and
Smacked the Broncos.
Bro, off the rip.
First play was a safety, man. The first play was a safety.
That was raw. That was so raw. And then I'm like, oh, they easily about to win that second one.
They would have easily won if they had just given Marshawn Lynch the damn ball like they were supposed to. But Russell just had to be the hero. Russell just had
he wanted to be that
from
guy.
The half-yard line, by the way. Not the 5-yard line, the half-yard line. And they had about 25 seconds and they were right there. All you had to do was just go shotgun again, spread everybody out. Let Lynch just go ahead and put it in there, bro, because he was breaking tackle after tackle against this Patriots defense. And their defense was top 5 that year too. But against Marshawn Lynch, man, beast mode was giving them so many problems that entire night. Like what Pete Carroll did in those last couple of seconds, man, honestly, that should just be considered like a war crime or a hate crime, really, for that matter. Like, how do you not give your running back the ball, knowing damn well that he gonna get it in the end zone? How do you do that?
I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you, bro.
Definitely got to be a top 5 choke moment in the NFL.
I hate thinking about it, being honest with you. That's just how mad it make me. And I'm not even a fan of them guys. But to choke like that, Jesus, you got to get some help. Got to get you some help.
For real. So Brady even keeping him in the game definitely helped out for that dub against the Seahawks. I think, his battles with the Mannings will always be known as like GOATed games. Eli taking advantage of him at times, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Vinny. Hey, shout out to my boy Vinny, them Giants boys. And then Peyton just getting abused by Brady. His big forehead ass. But shout out to Brady, man. Brady's, if you also like know when like he got drafted, like him being a 199th pick type deal, 6th round, he was a 6th quarterback, and he lasted all the other quarterbacks that you were drafted before him. It's an underdog story and it's raw. And like now he's not even an underdog. No one would ever call him an underdog. But originally he started off as an underdog. And we love underdog stories here.
Facts.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, before we shift the focus to the next topic, shout out to my son Vince and my son Tyler Dix. I love y'all boys. Let's talk about tanking in the NFL for draft picks. How do you feel about that, KJ?
Well, when it comes to tanking, really, I got like a love and hate relationship with it to a certain degree because, I understand why the owners would want their coach or their organization to do that. If you can get yourself a talent like some of the talents we have in the league now, like in Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, plenty of other guys that came before them. I could understand that. You feel like that's one person that could turn around a franchise. But in the same breath, if you got a coach that's really good at his job and is capable of winning games, not just for the sake of winning games to have a decent record, but take you to the playoffs, maybe even take you on a deep playoff run. To do that to somebody just because you feel like you don't have all the weapons that you need, that's a disservice to them and it's a disservice to the fans, really. So I don't agree with it completely, but I'm not saying that I don't understand why some people would do it in that instance. It's just you gotta really pick and choose your battles when it comes to tanking. You gotta know for sure before you do this that there's an actual real logical reason behind it and that it's gonna work. Because if it doesn't work and you don't have no plan, if it doesn't, then you're completely screwed at that point, possibly for the next 3-5 years, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely unfair to the fans, especially season ticket holders. They spend a lot of money to go down there and just to watch their team lose on purpose. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, it could definitely be a once in a generational talent, and Burrow or Chase or somebody like that in the draft. I definitely agree with tanking for that reason. But X, what you got to say, bro?
In certain aspects, like I understand tanking, but I understand tanking like if if it's a mid-season decision, like if we got an injury, we don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way that we have a chance to make it to the playoffs, that type of thing. Or we need new talent. Like it's a mid-season change. I don't agree with what it sounds like that, they just want to start it from the start of the season. So then why have fans come, like you're saying? Why have ticket holders? Why have all this if you just having us come in to watch us lose? Like that is so ridiculous. I think it's disrespectful. And then for me, I don't question the players, but I question the coaches if that's part of their contract. And then also I am going to throw some of it at the players as well, because it sounds like from hearing, like I listen to a lot of podcasts from different like football players and stuff like that. I don't know if you know like More Than an Athlete, and there's another one too that's brand new, whatever. But shout out to those recommendations. If you guys want to watch it, I recommend you guys watch it. There's some, and even in the basketball podcast too, there's some athletes that still love the game and they're professional and they love the game. And then there's people who are just really good at the game and it's their check and they don't care what come after that. So for that, I'm just like, I understand it if, it's a mid-season change or it's a mid-season decision and like, oh, I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to get this pick, but not starting off. I couldn't even do that mentally as an athlete. Like, oh yeah, like I'm on a team that's getting paid to lose.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
Can't, man. Like, I don't know how I could live with myself if I know I wasn't playing up to my full potential and I got to throw games when I know I'm way better than this. Like, out there on the field, it's going to seem like I'm trash when in reality, I know I'm not. Like, no, can't go out like that.
So KJ, let's for example, I'm not trying to bash you or anything. See your team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, supposedly tanking this year. How do you feel about that coming from a fan perspective?
Honestly, I really didn't like it that much, really. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, I know there are a lot of areas on this team that they gotta improve on, and they seriously need to do that in all seriousness. But tanking isn't going to make anything better either. Like, at one point I believe that we were the laughing stock of the NFL for a long, long time. I mean, not trying to do regency bias or none of that, but the last time we were even relevant was about 5 years ago. And 5 years is a long time. I mean, we were a quarter away from a Super Bowl appearance, et cetera, and we didn't get it done. But the year after, it's like nobody tried at that point, is how I felt. Like over the last couple of years, I feel like no one in the organization has really tried to help make the team better where they can have at least a respectable record. I ain't saying you got to get to the playoffs every season, but I mean, damn, at least have a respectable record. At least be at 500. At least be at 500, maybe even a little bit more than that. Don't be out there just playing to play, and then when it gets to the end of the season, be like, all right, I kind of want to be serious. Like 3-14 this season, that was pathetic. But I didn't have no real expectations in them because we had a rookie quarterback coming into a bad situation. One of our other rookies on offense, he had an injury in the preseason that ruled him out indefinitely, foot surgery. And we're just not good overall. We're not good on offense overall. We're not good on defense overall. So until they decide to change those things and address them, then this is where they're going to be. It's their choice.
Yeah, and then at that point, it's also just like their, organizations are just kind of just collecting money. Like they should have some type of accountability when, people are paying hard-earned dollars to go see games, man. And then at that point, like fans just then like decide, okay, if we're playing that, I'm not coming to games. Then what you gonna do?
So like me and Xavier can definitely relate. For the Browns, like 5 years ago, bro, we tanked for a good maybe how long was that, Xavier? For like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 hard years, man.
Yeah, it was kind of sad because like, like dang, I want to watch my team on Sunday, but like I don't want to be. And the crazy part about it is that I didn't really watch the Browns that much that year. I mean, I peeked in, looked at the score, and it's a horrible thing for fans, in my opinion. But
and you know what else, Cam? I don't mean to cut you off, but like there'll be glimpses of hope, which is like I think that's the worst thing of like tanking, and when teams do that is if you show glimpses of hope and then you just suffocate it, like you're just like, oh, you're not gonna build on like, oh, we're doing this well, or we used to have a good defense, you know what I'm saying? We got recent, we had decent defense, but you know what I'm saying? Like we used to have these things that we could just build on, but sometimes they just be like, oh yeah, nah, we're not even going with that.
We're gonna get rid of our star receiver or our star defensive player.
Exactly. And it's like, okay. And then you got some guys, like what's his name? Danny, right? Danny, who ended up leaving us and then going playing with the Patriots to get himself Sheldon, right? What's his name, bro?
Danny Sheldon.
And it's like, all right, bro. Or like, I don't know, and then you're like, okay, so then why are you making some of these decisions? Why are you picking up this quarterback that's already had his career, but is for namesake. So you just getting people to come in to
why are you paying Dwayne Bowe $9 million to sit on the bench?
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely share that with the Jags without a doubt. But the no, I was gonna say the Jags are in a better spot, but hell no, y'all not.
Nah, I just told you that we not, and this is coming from someone that's been a fan of them for a long time. Like, bro, during this season, I can honestly tell you that I maybe only watched 4 or 5 games by the Jags because it was just that bad. I didn't even watch the game against the Bills because I thought in my mind that they were about to hang 40 on us that day possibly. And then just to see them only muster 6 points, like I had to refresh the score on my phone a couple of times just to make sure my context was in so that I wasn't misreading it. But we actually beat them boys 9-6. 9-6. And then the season finale, keeping the Colts out of the playoffs, that was very funny.
That was funny.
And it was also very unexpected because I'm like, this is the Colts. They got Jonathan Taylor, who runs for almost 150 yards a game. And the way we shut him down, like I was happy about that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, why y'all wait to do this in one game? Y'all couldn't have just done like y'all couldn't have even performed like this for half the season. I mean, we had glimpse of it, like Xavier was saying earlier. There's some glimpse of hope. Like earlier this season, we were playing against the Cardinals. We went into the fourth quarter with like a 7 or 10 point lead, and then Trevor Lawrence, the rookie mistakes just come out. He threw like 2 or 3 interceptions in that game. Everybody else messing up. I'm like, this is against the Cardinals, who's a real good team. it was early, and even though it was early in the season, we were still playing well. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have got that. Or the following week against the Bengals when they had a 14-0 lead on them going into halftime on the road. Blew that. I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, about it because we watched the games with each other. We could have easily been 2-2 after the first 4 games. Instead, we was 0 for 4. After that, I was like, no, can't do this with y'all no more. Y'all not gonna put me in the hospital acting like this.
Well, KJ,
hey, I gotta shout out to Urban, bro. Cam, we gotta shout out our guy Urban, man, because Cam and I love Urban, bro. Yeah. Hey, shout out to the goal right there. Hey, he didn't do so hot in Jax. Hey, most Ohioans, they do well in Jacksonville, okay? Most Ohioans do. But not Urban. Not Urban, man.
Not fuck Urban.
Hey, relax. Hey, he just used to dealing with UF and OSU. Hey.
It's all cool because Urban is a god in Ohio. You want a national?
No, in Florida too, bro. Hey, they still love that UF team, bro.
In Gainesville, yeah.
Hey, the criminals and the Saints on that team, bro. They had the criminals and the Saints on that team. What an amazing team! They already have made a documentary about that, but that team crazy, bro. They got my boy Tebow, and then they got other guys on that team as well.
Aaron Hernandez, Riley Cooper.
But shout out to Urban though, bro. What an amazing college coach, bro. 3 national titles, bro. That's kind of hard to come by, bro.
Hey, hopefully we'll clip this up. We're gonna send it to him and just be like, hey, I know it didn't work. You was over there at Jax Beach, Atlantic Beach all the time, getting lit, doing whatever you wanted to do. But hey, it's okay, bro.
And KJ, if you ever go to Columbus, bro, If you ever go to Columbus, bro, go eat at Urban's Penthouse, bro. He's got a steakhouse, bro. It's lit.
Seriously?
It's called Urban's Penthouse. It's lit, bro.
Hey, what was Urban doing at the bars though?
Hey, bro, they said Urban was wilding at the bars in Columbus, bro.
I'm more inclined to believe it after what I saw him doing in Jacksonville. Like, how you getting danced on by another woman that ain't your wife, and then you get caught in 4K? Like, you got recorded letting it happen. Like, my dog just sitting there looking stoic, trying to pretend nothing ain't going on when he knows
drinking his hair and everything.
Hey, Urban was like, you go to JU or UNF?
Do you go to Edward Waters?
Hey, man, all colleges in the area.
Do you go to FSCJ?
Oh my gosh, this man was out there on Atlantic probably flexing, bro. Anyways, shout out to our guy Urban. We sorry, bro, but it just didn't work out in Jax. Anyways.
Facts.
Cam, man, so tell me, who are some of your, and KJ, who are some of your favorite teams this year in general, and who you looking out for next year?
Well, me personally, this past season, there were teams that were on my radar. Patriots was definitely one of them because they had Mac Jones as their rookie quarterback. Him being under Bill Belichick, people were wondering how that was going to go. I also was looking at the Rams mainly because they got Matt Stafford. That was a new quarterback in the system. Very first year, we all have seen how that's playing out for them. Very, very happy about that. I was looking at the Saints too because they were literally in the same predicament too. I mean, how are you going to move on without Drew Brees, who's in my top 5 to top 10, regardless of Super Bowl appearances, playoffs, all that other stuff. I mean, Drew Brees, he really was a good quarterback to me before his arm strength started going down. Packers, mainly because of Aaron Rodgers' situation, wondering if he was going to play there again this season or go somewhere else. I really am intrigued to see where he goes next season if he does decide to leave. I feel like he needs to get at least one more championship under his belt before he calls it a career. Maybe go out like Peyton Manning did. Go out winning a Super Bowl at least. Something. I feel like he deserves that, even though he's blown a lot of good games, big games at that over the last couple of years. But that's another topic for another day.
For real. Cam.
Yeah, the team that I was kind of rocking with was kind of the 49ers. I think they're a lit team, bro. Deebo Samuels and Trent Williams coming out the locker room with boom boxes on their shoulders, bro. That is
Super Gremlin.
hey, that is so lit, bro. Like Kyle Shanahan, like bro, that was my team, bro, and I really wanted to go to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately they were kind of a player or two away from that happening. But yeah, San Francisco was definitely on my radar. Surprisingly, to be honest with you, was kind of the Oakland Raiders. You know, they kind of put together a little run at the end of the season off all the adversity they had, losing their coach, a few players. You know, they kind of came together. You know, made a run. But those are my two teams.
Don't you mean the Vegas Raiders?
Yeah. Oh, same. Yeah. Whatever. I'm so used to Oakland, bro.
Nah, no. My favorite teams this year. It was kind of cool to see like what was gonna happen with Kansas City because they were stumbling at the beginning of the season, and the Browns, we should have beat them. But anyways, we're not going back to that. But yeah, kind of seeing them progress throughout the season. I love seeing Tampa Bay just because, you know, I mess with Tampa Bay overall. I like the individuals that they have there, like Evans and freaking, you know, Brady, obviously, AB, to see that whole debacle go down.
AB is hilarious.
Brady definitely helped me out in, you know, fantasy football this year. So it was my first year ever playing. So, you know, it did all right. At least I beat Cameron. I know that's an accomplishment. So, anyways, and then for next year, I'm curious to see, you know, how Lamar and Baker do it. As much as, you know, we're gonna, you know, Baker does throw a lot of interceptions and stuff like that, but they both coming back from injuries. I want to see like if they could really like get back to the competition in the AFC. And I gotta say the Bills, bro. Shout out to the Bills, bro. Bills Mafia. Hey. They had something, bro. They had something, but I don't think that's their last shot. Hopefully, they get another shot next season. But those have been my teams, and then yeah, you know, shout out to the Patriots organization because Mac Jones, and it was good to see, you know, Belichick. You know, everybody's counting on Belichick last year, and it was good to see, you know, Belichick have a little redeeming season. You know.
Yeah,
hey man, the Patriot way is definitely legit, bro.
Now you can't dispute nothing like that because Belichick gonna do what he always does, man. Whether he has Brady back there or anybody else, that's the main thing that I respect about him. He doesn't allow himself to get really pressured by anybody or let anybody tell him how to handle his business. Like you can tell too whenever he's at the press conferences and people are always asking him difficult questions that these other coaches will sometimes bend to and answer. Bill does not do that for nobody, man. I don't think Bill has ever done that for any reporter in his illustrious career. That's what makes him different from everybody else, in my opinion.
For real. Cameron, what we got coming up for What's Out Sports? Anything, you got anything planned for What's Out or anything like that? Hopefully, KJ, thank you for coming on, man. You know, you've always been a pleasure on our platform. You're definitely a regular on most of our shows, whether it's political, whether it's cultural, whether it's, you know, all of the above. We always have great discussions. And, you know, we got to start using you more in sports because your sports is pretty good as well.
Oh, yeah, I definitely appreciate it because there's a lot of stuff, you know, that I like talking about and all that, being honest. There was one more thing I did forget to highlight earlier that we was talking about. You know, I remember I hyped up the Bengals, their offensive weapons and stuff, but, you know, you can't forget about the Rams either. I mean, Cooper Kupp, I had this guy on my fantasy team the entire season, and I can tell you straight up that he was single-handedly the reason why I won my fantasy league, literally. Because this man was close to breaking Calvin Johnson's single season receiving record. He was only like 40 yards short of breaking the record, man. And then to count all those games, along with the games in the postseason that he's had, the man is over 2,000 receiving yards, got 20 receiving touchdowns. That's incredible. Actually, incredible ain't even a word to really describe it. Like how he moves, everything he does. Then on top of that, they're doing this without Robert Woods, who got hurt earlier in the season too. But acquiring Odell made things a lot better because people was talking down on him too, saying that he's washed, trolling him, disrespecting him, all that other stuff. Look at what he's done in the last couple postseason games. In the NFC Championship game with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, 9 catches, 113 yards. What can you say to that?
You know what I can say to that? No, I ain't gonna say it.
That's for
You're gonna say
another episode.
Again.
That's for another episode.
Oh.
The point is that they really have proven themselves, man. And I really look forward to this Super Bowl a lot.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm really Cam. So, anything for What's Out? Anything for What's Out Sports? What you got planned? We got an interview with a basketball player coming up, correct?
Yes, Miss Ohio basketball candidate coming up this Sunday actually. And we're gonna be getting some film breakdowns coming up soon, draft analysis, commentary, all that going. Black History Month as well for What's Out Productions. So definitely stay tuned to that.
100.
Sure.
100. We're gonna have some film with a Fair Play. It'll probably come out next week. We're probably gonna film it this week, come out next week. We can watch some fights. KJ, you're more than welcome. Any of you guys are more than welcome to join that. We're gonna with Cameron, we definitely want to try to get student athletes to come on the podcast with us, and we could watch film together. We call it the film room, so that we have more of a presence here for What's Out Sports. Cam's the guy of What's Out Sports. I'm no quarterback here. No pun intended. No pun intended. But shout out to Brady, TB12. Get the new Brady hoodie for $95. And hey, it's been What's Up. Cam, you got anything?
Shout out to the GOAT. Hey, don't forget my two sons, Vince, Tyler Dix, they're my boys right there. Dad'll be home soon.
Hey, make sure you like and subscribe. And hey, that's all we got. Peace out.
Peace, man.